right. Howie Mandel here. Howie Mandel Does Stuff is the podcast. You are?
Jacqueline Schultz, his daughter.
And we have Chris DiStefano, the magnificent Chris DiStefano, comedian. Were you a host on Guy Code? Or can I call you a host?
Guy Code and Girl Code, that was on MTV.
I know, but were you a host?
It was like a talking head show.
So his head talks. He can talk with his head.
I could talk in my head.
And are you an actor too?
I mean, I audition. I don't really get anything. So I guess a fail. No, I would say no. I would say I'm a stand-up comic first, the podcaster.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much. I'm worthless.
Wow. And
That's nice.
Really
I want to drinking regular Coke.
Do you want a Coke?
No. But I'm just saying, a lot of people go diet. Well, you go regular, which is it's very interesting.
What are you? Are you a diet or a regular guy?
I would drink diet. I think drinking
Why would you drink diet? Like what? You're not overweight.
Well, I have puffy nipples. I think that
when you say puffy nipples, like not the whole, not your whole tit, just the nipple.
Exactly. Here's the thing. So you asked me about if I'm an actor. Here's the thing: is I think when you do comedy, right? Of course, you have like something about you because people have told me before, like when I first started comedy, they were like, "Oh, you must have been an athlete or you must have been this. Like, how could you be funny?" It's like, well, because I've always had these things about me, like maybe I was a basketball player, of like in the gym a lot, but like I always had fat nipples, and my dad and his, my uncles, they'd always hit my nipple a little bit, so I'd have to develop ways to be funny because it would be pain, it would hurt me emotionally as I just felt my nipple going like that.
I think I know why you have chubby nipples or fat.
Why?
Do you eat soy?
No.
Oh no.
He doesn't eat Diet Coke. No, but
I've had before soy was cool.
So yeah,
I don't understand.
Here's what a casting director told me this once.
Okay.
Shout out. He said, you know what your problem is? You know why you're not castable? I said, why? He goes, you got leading man face, best friend body. I was like, what a great. I want that on my.
I love that you did a shout out, but you didn't say the person's name.
Shout out.
I forgot his name.
No, but that's okay. But you gave him a shout out, and that's fair. It's like fuck you, but I don't touch you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you're telling people. You have this humbleness that you've started about. You're telling us about, but you're telling in two stories how good looking you are and how athletic people think you are. So
they think I am, and how they I don't think these things. People have told me.
No,
this,
everybody says you're gorgeous.
And the quirkiness. No, but it's a very I've had a big head. When I was a child, I had a very big head. I've just grown into my head.
You grew into your head.
That's all it has. You see baby pictures of me. It's just all head. And
right. And you didn't have puffy nipples as a child?
No, I did. It was to the point where they thought I had an enlarged heart. I had to get a chest X-ray, and it was just because I had fat tits as a 7-year-old.
Your tits were so fat that they thought you had a like your heart was.
They were like, this kid's got an enlarged heart, and then it was like,
it's just your nipples.
No, he just has literally he's 7 years old, and he has nipples like a 15-year-old pubescent girl.
Do you use it to your advantage now? Like when you're doing comedy?
Yeah,
that's improv.
What?
How do you use?
I've sex with armor on.
Well, we've talked to a comic before that takes his shirt off. I'm just saying.
Bert Kreischer?
Yeah.
I just did his podcast.
Yeah?
Moments ago.
Oh, really?
That's why I was late.
You came from his house.
I came from Mr. Bert's house.
So did you both have your shirts off?
No, because here's the difference, okay? Is because there's this, again, people have said, there's this thing, oh, you must be an athlete, you must be this, you must be that. I've heard many times, oh, you must look good with your shirt off. And then because I don't, I look horrible. It is, I'd rather be all the way fat. I'd rather be 300 pounds where it's no doubt about it, this guy's a fat piece of shit.
Right.
I'd rather that than than the letdown. I'm the guy deal with the letdown.
You're married though, right?
Yes. Yeah, but she doesn't care anymore,
But the first time she saw your tits.
Put your shirt back on. Or people or girls when I was single go, I'll go like that. Oh. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
What are you going to do? I don't know. They, turn the lights out, ask you to put.
Now, you're saying, do you have tits or are you talking about specifically the nipple?
Listen, I probably over-exaggerate it. Bottom line, I hate myself, but in a positive way.
Well, you make it work for you.
That's what you have to do. You have to.
But also you have so low self-esteem because you said your father and your uncles used to flip your tits.
All day, every day.
All day.
Flip the tits, but in a loving way. I love my dad. Great guy. And my uncles are all dead, but they were great guys. but loving way. But I think it just develops the comedy. You know what I mean? That because I think we started because you said you're an actor, and it's like no. I think if I was an actor, I would have had the perfect tit and the whole thing.
But you're from New York, right?
That's it. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Where else are you coming from? Where else you going to be born in this damn country besides New York City? You got to be from New York.
I'm from Canada.
Yeah, but you're not from. You know what I mean?
I'm
but you're
from
not
LA.
in America. Where are you from?
LA.
This is my daughter.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
What's amazing? That I procreated?
Yeah. Why is she in blackface?
Because my son is sick.
Oh.
And I don't want to get him sick before
I'm
he has
neurotic.
to travel.
Everybody who's around somebody who's
We know.
sick.
Not COVID, by the way, but he
Yeah.
is sick.
What does he have?
What?
What does he have?
They said Corona ML16 or
Whoa,
something.
a new one.
A new
That's
one.
fun. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Corona
like that.
ML16.
Corona-
It's a fucking cold.
It's
Isn't
a
that
cold. It's a
Corona-
common
it sounds
cold.
like a gang.
Yeah.
MS13, ML16.
Yeah. That's what he has.
They'll beat the snot out of you.
Do you just have one daughter?
No.
Well, how many children do you have?
I have another one that I think does what you did.
What?
My other daughter.
Flicks your tits?
No, I never did that as a father. I know, even in
No,
a
I'm
loving
saying
way.
she flicked your tits.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. You do, when you have, you have two children, right?
2 daughters.
So do they flick your tits?
Not yet. Well,
Not-
my truthfully, my 10-month-old squeezes them when I have no shirt on. She squeezes it, and she has like.
Are you nursing?
I look like I could be, but
She
I'm
squeezes
not.
not with her lips.
No. She'll get her nails in there and it's like I always have to have a shirt on around her because she just rips my nipple out.
Wait, how old is she?
The baby is 10 months old, and then my other one's 6, about to be 7.
So what does she say about your tits?
She hasn't said much about. She mostly speaks Spanish, so I don't know. I can't. It's very hard to
Is your
communicate with.
wife Spanish?
Puerto Rican, yeah, and they're teaching them Spanish, which is a good thing. I wanted to be bilingual, but it's overboard now. Where it's like I have to, I'm
don't know what anybody's
I'm watching
talking about.
Encanto to try to talk to my kids.
So my other daughter, you asked, my other daughter was a physical therapist.
Whoa,
And I know that's what you originally were, right?
that's what I was. That's what I did until 2013. I was
For
a
pediatric.
pediatric physical therapist, and then you mentioned Guy Code. I was doing the show Guy Code, which was a show on MTV about guys. How do you live as a guy in the MTV world? And I was doing the show, and the principal of the show watched this. The principal of the school saw the show randomly, and she was like, "This is a conflict of interest. You can't." I was a pediatric physical therapist,
Right. So you
working
can't
with
bend
children.
babies. You're not allowed to bend babies.
Well, no, she was like, listen, I saw the show last night. You're talking about the Guy Code to hiding your boner, and then you're coming in here working with the kids. You can't moonlight and do this. So, and then she told me specifically, she was like,
She got fired.
not fired. She was like, she told me, she was like, don't do the show. That's going nowhere. She's like, you need to stay here and be a physical therapist. She was like, you will not make it. She's like, I know you think you're having a little moment in comedy. She's like, you have a good job. You have good benefits. You got your doctorate degree. The dumbest thing you can do is leave and go do that. It will not work. She's like, I promise you it's not going to work. I hate for you to throw your future away. So
So
I
you
You
left.
want to give her a shout out?
I want to give her a shout out. I want her, Principal Kensington. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Her, you remember the name.
I remember her. Thank you. Look at these puffy tits are doing now. I'm on with Howie Mandel.
No, but you're doing great. I want to tell you that I haven't been doing a podcast long. We've been doing it for about a year now, and we always ask our listeners and or viewers or wherever they're watching it, like, give us some suggestions. Who do you want to hear from? You are the most
You're
requested.
the number
No,
one.
really?
You're
Absolutely.
the number one
Oh,
all
wow.
the time.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love doing the podcast. I feel like it's like, when you were coming up in comedy, there's different mediums. I feel like podcast is the medium now for somebody like me to get my, that's how I'm selling tickets now through that. It's not, for me, it's not really about television. I would like to do it, but it's really like the podcast. That's how the people are.
But podcast is like television.
It is.
You can watch it on YouTube. People can watch it. You can listen to it. You're not working for the man. You're not on
Yeah.
television. I do television too, and this is my, respite.
But you're in a different thing because you've been doing television. You did television when it mattered, and that's how we all heard
When it
about
was
you.
invented.
When it was invented. And so for me now, it's like it's this weird thing we're at in entertainment where it's like some of the TV execs don't understand that their medium isn't as important. Where I could just put, not that it's not important, but I can just put my microphones up and hire my guy who I work with, shout out to Homeless Pimp, to just come over to my house and set up, that's my producer's name, to just set up Mike Levin, the Homeless Pimp.
But he changed his name to Mike Levin for show business?
Mike, well, it's actually, very careful. Mike Levin. He wants to let you know he's
That
Irish,
he's not Jewish.
No.
No, you don't want
Very
Jews.
important.
Very important.
Yeah, he got very upset when I said, oh, Levin.
That's why he went with Homeless Pimp, because Homeless Pimp is definitely not Jewish.
Not Jewish.
Yes.
And
not to be confused with Homeless Pimpsky.
Homeless Pimpsky, or Homeless Pimple is another guy out there. So that's what I had a CBS sitcom pilot in 2016. I thought it was going to be my big break, and then it didn't go. Filmed it, didn't go, and then I was like, oh, I got a little girl.
But you know what's weird? That people like you, young people who've just come into this business, you aspire to do television.
Yes.
I don't get that at all, because I'm on the number one television show on NBC. It is a smash on any given day if 8 or 9 million people tune in for that one day,
right,
and then it's gone.
Right.
Any post you put up on any platform or your podcast, I would imagine that's a fraction of how many people listen a month to your podcast.
Oh, the month would be more than that. Not in one day.
No, I know, but that's why it lists for.
Well, you know that even with AGT, when they post online, aren't they getting way more views online?
Yeah. They're more excited about that. We get 1 billion views on.
I believe it. I think that there's a place for it, but I think like I had to make the decision, because you're right. There was this thing in 2016. I was like. And some of my peers still think TV and movies and all that, it's the way. But in 2016, I was like, I got a little girl. Like, this pilot didn't go. I just gave a year of my life to it. I thought Les Moonves told me I was going to be the next Ray Romano, and then it's gone. And I'm like, I can't live like this. I can't put my career in the hands of some corporation. So I was like, I'm going online. I'm doing the podcast. And then now it's all changed. And now it's at a weird place where it's like, it's almost like reverse, where it's like, you have to convince me to do your show. I don't have to convince you. I don't want to audition for your show. You have to tell me why you want me to do that, because I literally make the living that I've always dreamed of from my house with my family. I get to pick my kids up from school. I'm like, then I go on the road. I sell the tickets. I sell the theaters. I'm like, what? Why? Then you want me to go what? Go to LA for 3 months and go on an NBC show that you said nobody's going to see. More people see my podcast, and some of these don't understand it.
And you can't do what you do. You can't do what you're known for. You can't do what your audience wants to hear.
No,
you can't.
No.
So that's legitimately selling out, which I do all the time. I'm a proponent of selling out. I am sold out. I am the most sold out person you will meet in the next 2 weeks.
But literally, you're the best at it.
I am good.
I'm not good. I'm going to try to sell like Howie.
A fucking whore.
No way.
You could buy me. You can. I really, yes.
But you when selling out like you was the way to do it.
Right.
It's just not anymore. You know.
I'm like an old aged wine. You don't drink it. You don't use it. You just. But you go. I'm a collectible.
You're a collectible.
I am a collectible.
Howie's a collectible.
I am. But I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
You have. I know that you're in town. This is not airing today, but when we are talking to you right now, you're in town for the Netflix Comedy Festival.
Yes, I am.
And were you at the Hollywood Bowl the other night? No,
I was not at the Hollywood Bowl. I wish I was there. I wasn't there, and I heard about it though.
Yeah.
And,
so did a lot
what are
of
you going to
people.
do? And then I did a show the next night where everybody's show the next night. Everyone who had shows the next night had a wall of security, of course, because of that. But my show, no security. The audience was standing. There were actually no seats. Some of the audience was sitting on the stage. I was like, this is good. Everyone else got Secret Service security. What? And they were like, well, Chris, I mean, you could defend yourself with your nipples.
Because they look at you and they go, he's athletic.
Yeah.
He can beat the shit out of us. He's so good looking. We're not going to slap that. Did you worry? Did you actually? So the next night being there, and you obviously you are worried because you said, isn't it weird that it's in your head?
It's in my head. To be honest with me, you know why it was in my head?
Be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest with me. To be honest,
you know we're here too, right?
Are you? Yeah.
To be honest with me,
sometimes I feel like I'm just a schizophrenic and none of this is real. This is just one of my other personalities. I thought the reason why it scared me is because I would rather just, if Dave Chappelle or if something would happen, if somebody just got shot, not a big deal. I don't mind getting shot in the head. It's over. I don't want to get stabbed. That guy rushed the stage with a bayonet. He had a colonial bayonet knife to a gun. I was like,
first of all, can I say something? I'm not going to edit this out, but I want to edit it out because you're giving people ideas Why do you want to be shot?
Well, because you want it to be you.
Yeah, I just don't want to get
Over
stabbed to
quickly.
death. I'd rather get if you're.
What if somebody came up with a piece of loose leaf and gave you a paper cut?
Oh, that would suck. I'm serious.
And they had a little wedge of lemon. What if they had a big piece of paper, they give you a little paper cut, and then they squeeze lemon on you, and you go, get off the stage, and somebody comes up and takes the lemon away, and then your security comes up and rips his shred with a shredder and takes his paper away and shreds his paper?
Well, here's the thing is, you want to do that, you can do that, but the thing about me, again, we're all a little quirky. You give me a little paper cut and you squeeze lemon in it, I come. That's the thing. That's the only way I can come.
Really?
Yep. I have 2 kids.
And that's how it happened.
Look at I caught some
So
of my
you would
fingers
say,
in
come in the
lemons.
other room. She'd put out like little sheets of loose leaf paper.
Yep.
And lemon.
Yep.
And then she would just slice your finger,
That's it.
put the lemon on. You come, and then she sat in a puddle, and 2 little girls.
2 little beautiful girls.
Oh
So
my
listen,
God.
you want to
That's
rush
beautiful.
the stage on me? You have a poncho on, because that's what I'll do. That's all splooge.
So you think that a poncho is the best way to protect yourself from splooge?
You tell me. If you said
He said splooge.
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 If I came in and said,
Oh,
listen,
splooge? Wait, my daughter's correcting the splooge.
splooge.
Splooge? And what did I say?
Splooch, like
You
with a
said splooge.
CH.
Splooge.
Splooge.
I love that you. That's why I have the kids here.
Yeah.
If the kid's got to tell me the difference between splooch and splooging.
Yeah, splooge is
I think-
SPLOGE. Oh,
Right, but a splooch is kissing a puddle of splooge.
See, splooch to me, when I think of splooch, I think of guy in the neighborhood, like, yo, it's Jimmy Splooch. Or, Brooklyn, like, that guy's a splooch. You
Yeah,
know?
see?
But splooge.
But splooge to me is the French guy in the same neighborhood.
Nice.
Splooge.
Francois Splooge.
Francois?
Splooge.
Splooge, yeah.
Yes. How old are you?
Same age as you, 37.
37, 1984, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That was
Good
her
book.
birthday song.
Yeah.
And she has 2 kids too.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah,
How'd
we're
you
like
meet your
twins.
wife?
We actually met at in 2014 at a bar called Place to Beach, deep in Coney Island, Brooklyn, like real, like not gentrified New York, like real New York. Like she's Puerto Rican, I was Italian. It was like West Side Story stuff, and we met, and
They were singing?
they were singing. Dude, it was a full musical, and we met, and then we went out on a date a couple of weeks later. And
What was your line to her? Did she know you? Was she recognize you from TV?
No. And I said to her that I walked up to her, and because she's Latina and she was dancing, and I was like, I'm a salsa instructor, and she was like, do a move, and I was like, I have a kidney issue, and she was like, you have a kidney issue, and
fired.
Yeah, and she started laughing, and she was like, you're an idiot. And I was like, see. And
Sí, which is Spanish.
yes, in Spanish.
Yes.
And then she told, and then it, I whatever struck out. And then before I left, I was like, I just really like, I'd love to like take you out on a date. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm with somebody. And I was like, okay, great. So I was just like, left. I was like, ruined. Girl of my dreams gone. What can you do? And then she sent me a message like a week later, because we were taking pictures in there and hashtagging Place to Beach. That was the name of the bar. So she looked up the hashtag Place to Beach. Or was just on it because her friend owned it and saw me and was like, oh, whatever. I guess things didn't work out with that other guy. And she messaged me. And then we went out on a date a week later. And on the second date, we had sex, had fun, and I splooged because she had the lemons and the paper cuts.
And she wasn't wearing a poncho.
And she got pregnant immediately with my daughter, Delilah. Second date.
Oh, wait.
The second date that we ever had in our... So my daughter, when she was
It
born...
was an accident.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, accidente.
Oh, it's Spanish. I
Spanish
keep forgetting.
again.
Yeah, and she...
Wow. So you guys,
then we
that's
made
not
it
your
work.
billboard on the back of every bus in town, is it?
What was... Which one?
In LA, it says accidente on the back of every bus, doesn't it? You have to, I don't know if it's a New York thing. I don't know if they have it in any other city. But if you drive around here, you look, next time
Okay.
you see a public transit bus, there's always, I had no idea it was about you fucking your wife on the second date.
Yes.
That's
it.
and you advertised it.
Yes.
So wait, she got pregnant.
Yep.
How did you find out that she got pregnant?
So actually, she told we then we had sex and we were having fun or whatever, and then we didn't just
No condom.
It was all casual. No, well, I had it on for like the 2 or 3 pumps, and I was like, I can't do this, and then I took it off.
And she was okay with
She
that.
was
after
okay with that. We were drinking, it was passionate. We were having sex. She was like, "Poppy." I was like, "Okay."
No, but
And then
weren't you gonna? But why didn't you pull out?
That's a good question.
Conversation.
What?
It's a good question.
Oh no, this.
Why
is
didn't you?
What? Why did I? Yeah, look what happened. I'm sitting beside it.
Look at that.
Because I wanted to do a podcast. I said to my wife,
That's what it is.
I want to do a podcast in 37 years, and I don't want to do it alone.
Oh my God.
There you go. And there's Jackie. Okay, so
you know what
this is terrible.
I know.
I'm sorry. Even Caroline and everybody back there is just like cringing. At
Yes. Well, it's funny because I went into this podcast saying my mother is such a huge Howie Mandel fan, and I was like, when
Let's
I told
call her.
Yeah. You want to call her?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to know what you were saying.
Okay. So, but okay. So I said, to her, we kind of were talking, not talking, like just casual, whatever. We were both single, and
Your mother and you?
my mother is single, FYI.
I'm confused now. Who are we talking about?
Do you like women with GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease?
Oh my God.
Is that I figure? Yeah.
Oh my God.
We have it, baby. We have GERD, Omeprazole.
I think I just splooged a little.
There you go. You hear that, Mom? So she's gonna kill me for this.
Well, so's my daughter killing me for sitting beside me through this.
What can you do?
Nothing.
We're like kind of both single. She had a child. She had a 3-year-old son.
From the date of the guy that she was dancing
Exactly. Yeah. She
salsa
met another
guy.
guy 3 years ago. Yeah, and did that. And then it was September 11th. Okay, September
my
11th,
God.
2014.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Woo.
What a way to...
September 11th, 2014, and I was in Tampa at Side Splitters Comedy Club. Shout out Side Splitters. And
You've had more shout-outs.
shout it out.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Shout out Side Splitters. And where the previous owner of the club I remember I got a text from Jasmine while the owner of the club was telling me about how the night before he had punched a woman in the face and wanted to show me on the security footage. I was like, I'll pass. Thank you. He was like, yeah, I just knocked her out.
Who's
It's cool."
Jasmine?
Huh?
Who's Jasmine?
Jasmine is my girlfriend. We're actually not married. It's my girlfriend.
The mother of your
The
child.
mother of my children. Yeah. Madre.
Spanish.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I love that because this is not a closed caption podcast, but it doesn't
Well, it
have to
should
be. Well, with you here, it is.
Yeah.
But the point is, so Jasmine, who got punched in the face?
Some woman in the parking lot of Side Splitters in Tampa. But the owner of the comedy club was telling me that he punched a woman the night before and was proud of it.
And you said, "Well, I fucked a woman the week before, and
yeah.
I'm proud of it."
Well,
Did you?
yeah.
Was there any video of that?
Wait. I'm so confused.
So am
this
I.
story started with you telling us how you found out that she was pregnant.
Yes.
I think
And then
this is
you
the
started
story.
telling us about how excited your mom was that you're coming on.
Yes.
And now we're talking about someone getting punched in the face.
¿Qué pasó?
Yeah.
Spanish.
Spanish.
yeah. Because I have my podcast called Chrissy Chaos where we go all over the place. So let me try to just get in there.
Okay.
So like I did.
Where are we
that
going
night
now?
In July. Where
Dad,
we're going
shut
now.
up so he can just
Dad,
finish.
shut up.
Shut up.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Let him finish.
So
Sorry.
is this what I
You
have to
should
look
just be
forward
happy
to?
I didn't pull out.
Okay.
She texts me and she goes, Jasmine, she goes, I'm gonna come to Tampa tonight. It was, she was like, I'm gonna come to Tampa tomorrow. I meant, and I was like, oh, awesome. Like, come, like, have fun. I could by the beach, we'll hang out. I thought like it was just gonna be like fun, hook up, whatever, blah 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 blah. I was like, this is great. We'll have fun. Great. And then she gets to Tampa. And she's doing shots. She had shots. I come off the stage and she's like, have shots lined up. I was like, oh, this girl's ready to party. Fine, whatever. Both single, have fun. So we go. She's like drinking and talking, and we go back to the room. And she's like, I'm so fucking drunk right now. I was like, good for you. I was like, let's get it on. And she was like,
I like the way you do it, the way you say it.
Yes.
Women must just.
Oh, they loved it. Yeah,
Let's get it on.
yeah. My nipples were fucking.
I don't think I've ever heard, besides Barry White, you're the second person
Yeah.
I've ever heard say that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I. Yeah.
Oh, it was Marvin Gaye. It was Marvin Gaye. Who's saying "Let's get it on"? Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye, and now you. Let's get it.
Chrissy Gay. That's who I am. Or Gay Chrissy is what they call me in the neighborhood.
You're Gay Chrissy?
Gaye though, because I'm a Marvin Gaye fan. I'm kidding. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm Chrissy Accidente. So she tells me she goes to the bathroom, and I thought she was going to come out butt ass naked,
Right.
But instead she comes out fully clothed with a pregnancy test that's positive, and she's like, "This is why I'm here." She was like, I have a son already. I'm just here to I just wanted to tell you that obviously I'm pregnant, but I can't possibly do this with you. So I just want you to help me take care of this and be there for me. And that's all I want. That's why I'm here. And, I don't think we should speak anymore after this. And
Wait, she didn't want to keep the baby.
No, not at that point. She was like, no.
I could tell the way she drank before.
Yeah, right away.
Coming.
She was like, I don't want to, she was like, let's go jet skiing. Let's just forget about this.
I'm pregnant. Let's go jet skiing.
Let's go jet ski and drink. Let's do heroin, whatever. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, so you don't want to do this? And she was like, do you want to do this? You barely even know me, and I have another child, and you're a comedian. And I was like, and it was like this moment that I had where I was like, I don't know. I was 30 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a okay career. I had my education, was raised Catholic. Sorry. And
were you apologizing to Jews?
Yeah, sorry.
He looked at if you're just listening. He looked at the big bald Jew, and my Jewish daughter, and when I'm Catholic, I apologize.
Sorry.
Because I have Catholic.
But shouldn't we be apologizing? Apparently, we killed Jesus.
You did kill our guy.
Sorry.
But what can you do?
I don't know, but he was Jewish.
He was Jewish.
Yeah. Okay.
But you don't. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if you.
I'm married to a Catholic guy.
Oh wow! There you go.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah.
we're really not that fun. I had this moment, and she said, I say to her, I was like, I know this is crazy. I know we don't know each other. I know I'm responsible for my action. We're both responsible for our actions. Obviously, I'm completely okay. Your body, your choice. Whatever you want to do, I'll pay for it. I'll support you. I'll be there in any way you need me. I've never been in this situation before, so just tell me what to do, and I will do that if that's what you want. But I will say that I will also gladly be the father of this baby, and I promise you that I will. We don't know each other. So I was like, I don't know if we're going to last. I don't know, but I promise you that I will be the father of this baby, and it will be my whole life. I promise you. And I guess you could just feel that I meant that.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Well, put a poncho on. So she said, if I can, then I'll keep it. If that's what you mean, then I'll keep it.
And you went, fuck.
What did I just say? I was like, I was drunk too. And then you know what? It's the best decision I ever made, because we have our baby, and now we have another. We have our older daughter, and we have a baby daughter. I have my stepson. I have a whole life, a whole Puerto Rican life that I've created.
And have you ever considered getting the license? Getting married.
Marriage.
To get to, I thought you meant to own a Puerto Rican. No. No. You know what? We have considered it. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, sorry. I love you. But because my mom and dad got divorced, and that's how I grew up, I had my father's great father, always very present in my life.
Tit flipper.
My mother, great, titty flip. Tony, his name's Tony Tit Flipper. And he, and my mother, great mother. But I grew up as a product of divorce, and I just felt like marriage to me, again, whatever people want to do. Knock yourselves out. I love it. You want to get married? I'm there. I'm at the wedding. We're having fun. But I personally, it's just, I don't believe in it. My mother's dying right now.
How about
she's telling her friend Barbara.
Should we phone her?
What time is it?
Dial.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Does she want to get married?
My mother's in New York. Yeah.
It's 4:30 in New York.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's call her up. What was the question?
Does she want to get married?
Jasmine?
Is she okay with not?
I think she does.
What about her family? Do they like you?
Her family, yeah. Her family's cool with me. Everyone in her family. So her mom is great, and then her uncle. She has an uncle. His name is Jerry.
So Puerto Rican.
I know. We call him Dorado. We call him TT Jerry. Now, TT Jerry's an interesting person, because TT Jerry, who is the godmother of my baby, I'm gonna get to it. My baby daughter Violet. It's Jasmine's uncle. Okay, he's transgender.
Oh,
so it's Jasmine's godfather, same person, but my daughter's godmother, because TT Jerry was in prison for 20 years. Okay, got locked up for a long time. Recently got out of prison 2 years ago and lives with us. Has become a part of my life, my whole world. Fascinating individual. She says I was trans before it was cool. Back in the day, trans. That's what she says. She says,
is she a woman?
She has tits and a dick. That's what I'll put it there. She has,
You are a reality show. Can we bring cameras into your home?
yes, that's it.
I'm telling you. Have you ever pitched
Get me
yourself?
on the bullshit game show.
Have you have you ever pitched yourself as a reality show? Or do you have any interest?
To CBS, and then they flushed it down the toilet. Yeah, but they put me in cargo pants. That was the issue. And also, TT Jerry wasn't in my life yet. So it's okay.
Go
maybe it should be a reality show. So TT Jerry, who, by the way, TT Jerry just got off probation 3 weeks ago. So I want to say congrats to TT. First time she's been off probation since she's 18 years old. She's now 57. Shout her out.
Yeah.
Shout her out. And then immediately, I'm talking about the day she got off probation, the morning of probation officer, we had her on the speakerphone, was like, you're off. First time, she was crying, whatever. Somebody tried to rob a house on my corner, and she ran after them with a baseball bat. I was like, TT, you're going to go right back on probation. Let them rob the house. Let them kill that family. We're not.
But TT's like a superhero.
TT doesn't care.
It's like a Marvel person.
Here's the thing with TT Jerry, okay?
Why TT?
Tito is
Auntie in Spanish. So, and she's come on my podcast many times, TT Jerry, and on my Patreon, patreon.com/Christy Comedy, we do a thing, TT Jerry's Bucket List, where we take TT and do things with her that she couldn't do because she was incarcerated for so long.
What was she incarcerated for?
So she first went to jail in the 90s for bullshit, car theft, stealing this, stealing that.
No, nothing.
Not violent, but in jail.
Oh, yeah.
She got violent. And because she had to defend herself, she says, because like she says, she was cool.
Was she in a man's prison or a woman's
She
prison?
was in the, eventually, first she was in the men's prison because at that point when she went in, they didn't have all these different, they weren't woke yet. Prisons weren't woke. So now the prisons are woke. She went into she served her last years in the transgender section of the prison, which she said was balls of fun and balls of balls. So she, so she told me, and by the way, fascinating person. She served time with Son of Sam.
No.
Yeah, she claims, and there's no way for us to verify it, but other stories she has said have been verified, and other inmates that have listened to the podcast have messaged me and be like, they used to call her J-Lo in prison. They said everything J-Lo is saying is true. One of the guys
Wait, TT's Jenny from the block?
They call her in the
Jenny from Cell Block 6.
Yes, in the New York State prison system, she's known as J-Lo. She's allegedly a legend in the prison system, but she admitted and said, very actually kind things about him. That she said she was for a little while, for a couple of months or so, she would happily give Son of Sam blowjobs in prison. Happily,
wow.
Yeah, and
that's a beautiful
thing.
story.
She said he's actually nice. She said he's
a nice guy.
You know the documentary, the Son of Sam documentary that came out on Netflix a couple of years ago that kind of was trying to say, hey, Son of Sam wasn't the only killer. There was they pinned it on Son of Sam. He definitely killed people, but not everybody.
For those that don't know, that's young. The younger audience wouldn't know. Not that I have a young audience, but just he was a serial killer around I guess it was in the 70s.
David Berkowitz, one of your
David
people.
Berkowitz, yeah. But the people did that. Jews always went Berkowitz, and then other people would take solace in going, he was adopted.
Yeah.
So
well, here you go. You guys got David Berkowitz. We got John Wayne Gacy. The Catholics got Gacy.
Who wins?
I'd say John Wayne Gacy wins in that fight. We want to throw Richard Ramirez in the Night Stalker. Now, I don't know. But I would say...
But all the Son of Sam, couples who were making out in the park, he'd shoot into the car and kill them, right?
Which I told you what I want. So I guess if I was going to be choosing to die, I'd rather go Son of Sam. Just shoot me in the head.
I understand. I seem to... When I start talking to you, I think you're all over the place. But everything is like the circle of life.
You just got to listen. That's all.
Or you got to wait. You got to wait. But it's worth the wait.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Wait and see. But anyway, let's continue.
Yes. See? Vámonos.
No, but did we finish the Son of Sam? He blew Son of Sam.
He blew Son of Sam in prison.
She blew
Son of Sam in prison, but she is because you were talking. I was talking about my life and my family. She is my daughter's, main caregiver. Both my daughters love her, adore her. I love her, adore her. Jasmine, she is a huge part of my family. TT Jerry, and great on the podcast and has fun. And I feel proud that, she's not, I really believe in my heart, mi corazón, that she's not going to go back to prison this time because she loves her life.
But what did she do in prison that was bad?
Okay, sorry, that's the part.
Yeah.
So because she was transgender, she would get, abused a lot, she said. And there was the first big incident she did. And again, listen, I get it. She goes, this guy kept walking by her cell and putting his penis over her cell, just this flaccid penis. And she didn't like it. He was like, come on, come suck this. And she was like, no, no. And then he just kept doing it. And she said one day, I was just fed up that he kept putting his flaccid, she said, ugly, wart-filled penis, that's what she said, up on my prison cell. She said, so I had a can of tuna. I took the top of the tuna can and I sliced the tip of his dick off. Right off. I sliced his dick off with a tuna can. And I was like, listen. And she was like, I got 2 years in the hole for that. Isn't that bullshit? I was like, no, I get it. I get where you're going in the hole for that. I get where you cut his dick off, but you're going to go to the hole for that. And she spent 2 years in solitary confinement. 2 years.
Depends how you look at it. See, in our as Jews, that's circumcision, and that's part of our ritual.
Yeah,
that is considered. A passage.
A celebration.
I'm circumcised.
A celebration.
Did I ask?
I just want to let you know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah,
but you didn't
and
have
you did
a
that to be
celebration.
on the podcast. The other story that you didn't finish was you were telling your mother that you were coming on this podcast, so you didn't know what was that.
Oh, I said to myself when I was walking in, I said, "Crit," because my mother's, she supports me, but she's like, sometimes your comedy's a little dirty. I don't like to use foul language. I don't like that you sexualize everything. I don't like that. And she's such a big fan of yours. When I told her, she said, it was like, I can't wait to listen. So she's going to listen to this podcast. And I said, when I was walking in, do not curse, do not be sexual, do not, just be clean. And then I immediately just said, I want to splooge on you.
Your mother's listening now.
Yes.
Okay. And
so I ruined it for my mother.
Aside from this podcast, how does your mother feel about your baby girl's aunt who lives with you, blowing Son of Sam, but also taking care of your daughter?
I think my mother in the beginning didn't necessarily love it, but now
she's on board with TT.
Well, she's on the Patreon. My mom, she's on the Patreon. She's at patreon.com/Shristy Comedy. She knows the real us. And she, I think my mom's accepting of it all now, because the thing is with TT Jerry is on paper, you would say, oh, criminal, blue Son of Sam, slice people's dicks off, violent. That's on paper, no bueno. But when you meet her as a human being, you're like, this is genuinely one of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my entire life. I trust my children, my greatest gifts. I trust their lives with her. That's why I made Violet the godmother and father. Double whammy.
Violet
is the baby. I have a baby.
Oh, okay.
Jasmine is the girlfriend. Delilah's my oldest daughter. Violet's the baby daughter. So
TT.
Violet and
TT's.
TT Jerry is the
aunt.
Is all our mamas.
And
No, the aunt is all our aunts.
Ants.
So TT Jerry is just like a guiding force in my life. And yes, I do think it is. I have, how like Hollywood now, everyone wants to be like woke, check boxes. I want LGBTQ representation. I want diversity. I want that. I just have that naturally in my life without trying it. Like, I'm just like, you're trying to make this shit up on fucking Hulu. This is just come to my house. Come to Staten Island. Come over.
You're living the insomniac, which is like beyond woke.
Beyond woke.
Yeah, it's an insomniac. Is the person that just never sleeps, and yet you live you checked every box.
That's how woke I am.
That's how woke you are. Okay, and finish. So the first offense in prison was slicing the flaccid dick.
Slicing the dick off.
With a tuna
fish.
Just tell him Charlie sent you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So you get 2 years in the hole for that. What can you do? Come out. And she said, life in the hole is not fun, as you would imagine. But it's interesting to talk to someone who's really been in it. She was like, look, they would feed you, 6 a.m., 11 a.m., and 3 p.m. You miss one of those meals, you're not getting fed again until the next day. And sometimes they wouldn't feed you at all for 2 or 3 days in a row. Because if you did something in the hole, it's anything goes. You're in the bottom of basement you have a little bit of light. You're in the bottom cells of the jail, and that's it. So she was like, I would have to learn how to survive, conserve energy, do that for years. And then you don't know what time it is. You don't know what day it is. Barely shave, no haircuts, all those things. And so I was like, wow. And it's interesting because me and Jasmine and I were having problems with our relationship when TT first came into our life. We were having problems. And she goes, TT Jerry was, after a few months, was like, you two, she goes, I'm observing you two. You two are acting like you're in prison and you're free. You're in this relationship. You're putting yourselves in a prison. You're getting mad at him for doing shows. You get angry at her if she questions you. You're in a prison. You're not happy. She's like, you're free. You have freedom. He was like, I was in prison. I'm telling you, get out of this prison. You've created a mental, emotional prison for yourselves. Get out of it. And we were like, holy fucking shit. We were in prison. We were literally in prison. And then Jasmine took that tuna can, sliced my dick off, and no problems. Because you can't cheat without a dick.
But that is a great philosophy. I
Yeah.
love it.
She's literally your therapist. You have
No,
a-
Jerry is when we talked, because, and also, I don't know if you ever had the privilege to be around a person who truly, when my mom and dad would say, there's kids starving, there's kids that don't have this, there's kids that don't have that. It's very difficult to know that because I'm like, this isn't reality. That's all like,
Right.
subjective. I don't know. I
never understood it
I do,
anyway.
yeah. Where Jerry is like,
Somebody
I
who's-
know what it's like to not have freedom. I know what it's like to think you're going to die every day. So she literally is a person right in front of me every day that gets every ounce out of life every day. Every second is a gift for her. And so she's so happy. So at the most mundane things is like, she was cleaning the dishes one day. She was like, look at this. Look at how beautiful the water is coming out of that sink. She was like, isn't it amazing? It looks like a rainforest in here. I was like, it's a dirty kitchen. She was like, no, this is beautiful. And I was like, wow. Like everything, she turns around. Everything is positive with her. Everything.
I love that.
That's
Everybody needs it
beautiful
too.
to have around your kids too, so
Yes.
that they appreciate everything.
That
Yes.
teaches kids because that was the hardest thing about bringing you up. Because just in this weird world that I'm lucky enough and you're lucky enough to be in, and you have some money and you have some success and people want to do things for you and talk to you. It's hard for people for your kids to kind of appreciate anything because not everyone has a TT.
And my advice to people out there, your fans listen to the show, you're in a rut in your life, go out and find a transgender Puerto Rican person.
From
Saves
prison.
the day.
From prison. All
Has
you got to
be
do
an
is
ex-inmate.
wait at the gate. They're coming out every day.
Every day they're coming. And you know what? Another good advice, if you ever go to prison, because I don't know if you're going to get, you may go to jail one day. Who knows? A white collar crime.
You don't
Some
know.
embezzlement.
You
Who
don't know.
knows? You
Yeah.
did something.
Right.
And you were going to go, maybe I go too, you forget to pay your taxes, whatever. We're going to jail one day.
Okay.
We're going to prison.
All right.
And I asked TT, I said, if I go to jail,
Right.
what tell me your best advice. And you know what she said? And Howie, listen up. She said, my best advice to you, for real, not even kidding around, is to immediately identify as trans in prison. And I said, really? She goes, I was like, why? Because I go to the safe part of the jail. She goes, no, the transgenders, they'll beat the shit out of you. She was like, the reason why is because if you identify as trans and you don't go to the transgender part of the prison, because sometimes you don't, and you go to the male part of the prison, you are literally, nobody will mess with you because you're transgender. So if they beat the shit out of you, then in prison, they beat the shit out of a woman, and that you can't do that because you're a woman to them, to the inmates.
Right.
You beat the shit out of a woman. If you beat the shit out of them, they lose all their street cred because they just got beat up by a woman, a jail woman. So you literally, nobody fucks with you because it's a lose-lose for the inmates. There's no incentive. So it said, here you go.
What is TT's second offense in prison? The first one was cutting the dick off.
The second offense was I think there was a incident with one of the guards that she claimed was abusing her, and she shit in a Folgers can, shit and pissed in a Folgers can for upwards of a week, and then when he was coming over one day, shook it all up and threw it all in his face. And that was another. And then
That's not bad.
No, but then what happened
Who
was
the fuck are you? What do you mean that's not bad? My daughter said that's not bad.
It's not cutting someone's dick off. It's not the same thing. Like you could just wash that off.
It's Folgers
You don't understand.
in your cup.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
Wow, now it's a musical.
Yeah. So yeah, but what happened was with that is that obviously
The guy
caused
wasn't
a
a
big
coffee
fight,
drinker.
and then Jerry got the better of this guard and beat the shit out of this guard. So that's what
But it was his shit, her shit.
exactly
Their
fucking
shit.
covered it because And I always think about that. I'm like, I mean, forget about getting beat up. The case of pink eye that guard.
Oh
must have
my
had
God.
Could you imagine double pink eye?
Really. And I'm saying to Jeremy, who is our producer here, the title of this episode is Pink Eye and Paper Cuts.
That's what it is. Please.
And little tits.
And little tits.
And little flippin' tits.
Yeah.
So should we call your mother? Is it going to be worth
I would
it?
like to call my mom. I'm gonna. Yeah, let's see what she's here. Here, let's see. This will be nice for her. Let's see what she's.
It will be nice.
Let's see. Here we go. Can you hear her?
No, you can here.
plug
Just
it
plug it
in.
right here, and you can talk. No, let it ring.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. Here.
Thank you.
Plug it in.
Is it ringing?
Yep, should be.
Oh, hello.
Mom?
Hello.
Oh wait, hold on. She's not. Let's see. Should we leave her a voice message?
I like it says the crib.
Crib.
That your mom
I'm cool.
listened to crib.
I'm a cool guy. I call my house the crib.
The crib.
Crib.
Calling the crib.
No.
Huh?
Hello?
Hello? Usually there's an answering machine.
Nobody's at the crib.
Call it back.
Really?
Yeah, hit it back.
Okay. How do you do that?
Oh,
here we
God.
go.
How do you do that? How do you call someone on the phone?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Come on, lady. She might be on the phone with her therapist.
She won't take like a call waiting?
No.
Even if she sees it's coming from her son?
Multiple times she might, unless she's not home. What's today, Friday?
Yeah.
What is she doing Fridays at 5:30? She might be out with her friend Barbara. They go to the diner, talk shit.
And she doesn't answer her phone at the diner?
Well,
with
she's
Barbara?
at home. I'm calling. Maybe I call a cell phone.
That's what I should. Oh, that you're calling the.
This is Lynn. Sorry,
there's Lynn.
No, it's Lynn.
Yeah, that's Lynn. That's my
Call her cell phone because maybe we'll get Barbara and her.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
That would be a fantastic. Well, splooge.
Here we go. This is Mom Dukes. Very cool.
Mom Dukes.
Mom Dukes in the crib.
What's her name? Linda?
Lynn.
Lynn.
Lynn
Yeah.
DiStefano. She still keeps my father's last name, even though they've been divorced 36 years.
Did she ever remarry?
So that she
No.
could have the same last name as you guys.
Yeah, that's what she did that for.
That's so nice.
I have good stories about my parents co-parenting well.
You have a brother?
Only child.
Your call has been forwarded.
I mean,
She's not
she
answering.
blew it with Howie.
She blew it. All right. So
She calls. Maybe keep it plugged in if she calls back.
Oh, she'll call you. Okay.
Maybe she calls me.
Okay.
You can keep it over there. I don't want my phone as a distraction.
Okay.
Now I can be free with my hands.
Do you feel that your parents
I
raised
do
you?
this the whole time.
You're an only child.
An only child.
So who raised you? Your mom? Well, how old were you when your parents split?
One. I was 1 year. A 1 year old. My mother made a great choice. Dad, great dad, but didn't want to marry this guy. Didn't want to have a life with him. So great guy, my dad, and great woman, my mom, but divorced, rightfully so. And then,
What'd your mom do? What'd your dad do for a living?
nobody really knows. My
Okay.
dad. I think my father could have been. I think my father probably should have been T.T. Jerry's cellmate. Probably, most likely, but
He's a criminal.
A criminal, yeah.
Okay.
So,
And mom? What did mom do?
Mom worked in human resources. Mom's an HR manager. Was an HR manager for 32 years. Bank of Nova Scotia. Wow, Canada.
Yeah, wow.
The Bank of Nova Scotia, and
in New York.
Yes,
The
New
Bank
York-
of Nova Scotia in New York.
Yes,
Wow.
they had a New York branch, and so she was a great single mom. And my dad came and saw me every weekend, never missed a visit. And it was the thing that was great is as me and Jasmine and I, we split up for a little while after Delilah was a couple of years old. And so it was great lessons because my father was like, hey, Jasmine is the most important, will always need to be the most important woman in your life, even if you get remarried, if she gets remarried. My father got remarried. He's like, but your mother was always, he was like, I love my wife, but your mother is always going to be, high up there because she's the mother, she's your
mother.
of my son. So he's like, you never, ever, 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 no matter what, disrespect the mother or your children. So that was like good stuff to know because sometimes guys forget, like they'll go through a divorce and they hate their wife or say something. It's like, he was like, you will never do this. This is the mother of your kids. She's on the pedestal. So I was like, that's good. And then, being a stepfather, because my when me and Jasmine weren't together, it was very difficult at first for me to be a stepfather. I was like, I don't know.
Because she had a child.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to love this
Is that
child.
person's father in there?
Yeah, he's still around. Yeah, and he's a great guy too. We all get along.
Does he live with you?
No, he can move in though if he wants.
And
Add
he's
to
okay.
the reality
And
show.
he's okay with the TT, with the.
Oh, yeah, he loves it.
Oh wow.
He loves it. Yeah. Her advice, because step parenting is difficult. Being a stepfather is way harder than being a biological father.
Why?
I personally think.
Why?
Because nature hasn't given me those tools to be like, you have to love this person unconditionally. I do. I try to. I love my stepson, but nature just came in and was like, you love this child unconditionally because it's like part of your DNA. It's all there. Like, animals in the animal kingdom will, how it is. Like if they'll kill children that aren't theirs. Like that's just nature. Like, but she said to me, my stepmother, she was like, you have to understand one thing about being a step parent because she's been my stepmom for 35 years. She was like, being a step parent is the most thankless job in the world. No, don't ever look for them to say, for their stepchild to thank you for anything. That's not what this is about. You have to be their parent. you have to step in and do everything for them as if they were your biological child, and there's no reciprocation. Do not be looking for this child to love me back, or I'm only doing things and he never appreciates it.
Are you ever cognizant of the fact that the two siblings, like your biological child and her child, don't feel equal in the relationship?
Yeah, I always feel like my two daughters, I always, as much as I can, try to, whatever I do for my two daughters, I do for my stepson. If they get a gift, he gets a gift. If they get a hug, he gets a hug. I try.
Really?
I try.
And he's sitting there in the living room going, I don't want a fucking Barbie.
Right, exactly. Well, and the thing is, my girls are still young, so we kiss on the lips, and then I kiss him on the lips too. You have to. No.
Okay. No, that's all right.
That's okay. No. So,
What are you thinking, Jack?
I don't know.
what do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think, Jack?
Well,
piece of shit?
I don't kiss my kids on the lips anyways. But
You
I'm
don't do
also,
that?
No, but I'm also a
No.
germaphobe. I'm sitting here with.
I never kissed my kids. I've never kissed
Who's
my
this, Mom again?
I think so.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can't believe she's not picking up.
Maybe she will. I never kissed my kids on the lips.
Never?
Never.
I kiss my kids. I kiss my girls on this baby too. I mean, I bite the baby's teeth.
You
So
bite the
cute.
baby's teeth?
I bite the baby.
No.
Bite
I've
her
never
lip.
done that.
How busy can your mom be on a 5:30
I mean,
on a
what is
Friday
she
night?
doing Friday 5:30?
An automatic voice message system.
No.
Should we leave her a
Leave her a
message?
message.
1,
Okay.
7, 4,
I'll call her.
Just like bleep out the.
is not available.
Do you want me to start?
At the tone, please
Okay.
record your
Or you want
message.
to? You could say something. Go
When
ahead.
you have finished recording, you may hang up
Or you
press
can finish.
1
I'll do
for
it.
Options.
Lynn? Hey, Lynn, Howie Mandel here. Your son just dropped by, and I said I would give you a call. And if you answered, this particular episode that your son was on has been was sponsored. And it's funny, what a coincidence. We just found out from the Bank of Nova Scotia because I'm Canadian. And they said if you answer the phone, there was a $50,000 prize. But you missed out. And you missed out in just talking to me. And I hope you have a good night. Anyway, bye, Lynn.
Nice. She's literally going to be like, I could have won $50,000. Because you know what it is? My mom, she's one of those ladies. She loves celebrities. Like when I did the David Letterman show,
Yeah.
first time only time I ever did it, John Travolta was the other guest.
Yeah.
And she was just telling her friend, because, I invited my mom. All she was doing is like, I'm going to see John Travolta on Thursday. He's going to be on Letterman. And I was like, yeah, also your son's doing stand-up. But she'd never catch. She's like, John Travolta. John Travolta. I have a story about him. I met him when I did stand. This is crazy. This is a 100% true story. I go do stand up on David Letterman, right? And I was so fucking nervous, right? Of course, It's my first time ever on late night TV. I had bought a suit off the rack from Joseph A. Bank, like that was like
Shout out
Joseph A. Bank. That was 10 times too big, and from Suffolk County, Long Island. I bought it there. Shout out. And I go. And so I'm standing there. John Travolta's on the couch being interviewed by David Letterman, like he's done 100 times, whatever. And I'm shitting my pants. And they go to a commercial break, and I'm going up next. And John Travolta is walking by me, and he stops and he goes, "Whoa, that's a beautiful suit." I was like, "Thanks." I was like, "I feel like it's 2 sizes too big." He was like, "No, it's your shoulders. It looks good." I was like, "Thanks. I have puffy nipples." And he goes, what do you do? I was like, "Comedy." He was like, "That's amazing. You've done it already." And I was like, "No, I haven't. I'm actually on next." He goes, "It's over." And I was like, "No, it's not." I was like, I'm actually going up next." And then he puts his hand on my chest and he goes, "Your heart's beating so fast." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you're massaging my nipple." Like, I feel like I'm going to die. And he goes, "It's over. You've done it." And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. I'm trying to tell you that it's not over. I have to do it. And he goes, "Listen to me." And it was crazy how he calmed me down. It was so insane. He goes, "Listen to me." He goes, "I'm sure you've had to be vetted by Mr. Letterman. You don't just show up and do the show. You've probably had to run these few minutes that you've done 1,000,000 times. The work is over. Now you've lived the fun part. It's over. You did it. Calm down. It's over." And he goes, "This is your first time on TV?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "I'm going to stay here and I want to watch you live this moment. I want to watch it all happen." My mother's right outside seeing all this, dying. She's like, John's like, "I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to watch you live this moment." And I swear to God, I was so calm. Because with that, I'm going on. The show, the commercial break is over. I'm going on and he's like, "I'm going to be right here." And I was so calm. Heartbeat was where it should be. Felt so great. I had what I thought was a really good set for the first time ever in the zone. I come off, John Travolta's not there. I was like, where's John? And then the sound guy was like, he left immediately. As soon as you went out there, he just walked out, punched him up in the face, like just didn't. But I was like, you know what? That's so nice of him to just like, he did that. To just calm me down, and then fucking left. Just flew in his private jet. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, I'm not going to stay and watch this asshole.
You know what's funny? I've been talking to you for an hour now, and you have imparted such sage, really deep, like serious advice. As somebody who is very open about their mental health and things like that, I've taken a lot. But what seems kind of dreamlike is the fact that you are quoting the best things that I've learned about how to move on in my life are from T.T. Jerry.
Yes.
Where you live as if you were free.
Yes.
John Travolta, who says, live the moment as if it just happened so that you can come. It's weird where your points of reference have come. It's not just like most people with this kind of advice would come on and say, you know, my therapist tells me,
or you've read and studied, and
where you've gleaned this incredible sage advice from is incredible.
T.T. Jerry and John Travolta.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think like, you know what it is? Like my family is like a, cast of characters. Like my father, he was always like in and out of trouble, whatever, but great guy. But I always felt like my father had the right intentions, but the wrong moves.
Well, that was the other one. It was your father who you said could be a criminal.
Could be.
It was the one that gave the advice that regardless of how you feel in your relationship, that is the mother of your child.
Yes.
So always hold them. And I think that people who listen to these will take these words. This has been a really important episode. Like,
there you go.
You're incredibly funny.
Oh, thank
you're
you.
incredibly witty. You have a great personality. There is a reason that you are successful. I think that you're really just at the beginning of your career. I really do.
So.
No, I know you are.
Oh.
And I would love to work with you in some. I say that to a lot of people here, but I only have people on that I really kind of respect or learn to respect when they show up here. We should do something. You should do. I mean, I do think that your family is a reality show.
Yeah, I wanted to make it like a scripted show, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it is reality. I don't know. But I feel like that's the net. Doing the podcast, doing the stand up. But I was like, I want to write a show about about my life, and
Yeah, but except that if somebody else, if you go to a traditional broadcast network, maybe on like Netflix or something.
Maybe I can do streaming. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, on a traditional network, it'll be so watered down, and it'll also be homogenized because they'll get you a showrunner that will be somebody who's done 5 other sitcoms that you and I would never laugh at.
Right.
And it won't be. And what the beauty of what you have is it's real. That's what even makes it funnier, better, more charming, and more inspirational. It's like a great.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, well,
there's a lot of heart. You have a lot of heart.
Yeah. Well, I love. I don't know. I love my family. So and when I talk about them, like we do comedy. We exaggerate, embellish stuff a little bit, but pretty seriously, like this is just my life. Like you come to my house, like you're gonna see pretty much what I'm describing with these people. So and I love history too. I think that's another thing. I would go to therapists a lot. I haven't had an anxiety condition for a while.
Well, we do too.
Yeah. I have the word anxiety tattooed on my arm. I mean, you know what I mean?
Is that the condition? Just that the word's tattooed on your arm? Or do you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it. I mean, I do this thing on Instagram, Anxiety Tuesday, and I.
What's Anxiety Tuesday?
So I would always kind of go a rant about like, because my thing with anxiety was always like, it happened for me after 9/11. My mother worked in the second tower that was hit. She survived, thank God. But for 10 hours, nobody knew where she was. Nobody phone worked in New York City.
And how old were you that time?
17. I was in high school. So senior in high school. So I was like, I thought she was dead and all this. And this Pandora's box of mental health issues opened up in those hours that I thought she was dead. And then I couldn't close it for like years. I would suffer from like panic and all this stuff. And then I just grew out of it. When I had my first daughter, I was like, I cannot give all this mental energy to worrying about if they're going to die or if I'm going to die or this is going to happen. I was like, I have to focus on being her dad. And so little by little, it got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. But then I look back in history, helped me a lot. Learning about history, I like go through it. And I'm like, yo, everything that's happening to us in the new world or anything that we went through, it's happened to humans throughout history. Nothing is new. So that's what I would always think, I'm the only one that has this anxiety. I'm the only one that, and it's like, no, nothing is new. Times me by billions of people throughout history. This is a thing that people get through. Don't worry about it. Like, you will be fine. And now I've just kind of come to accept, fate. Whatever happens, That's how I literally, my anxiety is like, if it was like a 10, whatever, even 5 years ago, it's like a 2.
As long as you're not shot.
No, but if I get shot in the back of the head, it's over. Stabbed.
Oh, as long as you're not stabbed.
Stabbed, I won't. Stabbed, I don't know what I'd do if I've been stabbed. I don't want to be stabbed.
All right, well, we've cleared that up.
Yeah.
I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours.
I want to, but you guys, I guess it's over.
Kind of. But not because I want it to be. Just because it is,
I have
right?
to go pick up my daughter from school, too.
I can't wait till the second I get in the Uber, my mother calls.
Really? Let's try one
more time.
There's your girls. Yeah, get me on.
Yeah.
I saw your girls on there.
Let's see.
I'm not going to look. Got your thing. Like, if I look at his code, I'm going to one day. We're dialing it one more time. Did you dial it?
Yep. Let's see. Mom Dukes. Lynn Marie DiStefano.
It's not even ringing.
It's not ringing.
Or is it not ringing?
Not yet. Can't you hear? Do you hear?
No.
Then it's not ringing. But it says it's calling.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is that Lynn?
Yes, speaking.
Yeah, it's Howie Mandel calling.
Oh. Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. Your son was on my podcast today, and we tried to call you earlier. I don't know if you got the message. Did you get the message?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh,
I'm so sorry about that.
Because we're doing a 1 hour podcast. No, Kyle. And I was going to tell you something. I had something so surprised, but it ended. That's the end of the podcast. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Damn.
We ran out of time. What do you got?
Oh, I'm so sorry I missed it.
You had your chance, Mom.
Bye.
Oh my God. Hung up on my mom. That's why he's a legend.
We can call him back. Let's call him back on speaker. Yeah.